Lucky nitty bitty. Everybody's got that something. Everybody's got that something. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah, everybody's got that something. Hey, 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 hey. Yes. We are joining Clubhouse right now. Welcome, welcome, and welcome, 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 and welcome. Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. There's a time for... Y'all still hear that Barry White in my voice? Just waking up. It's 7 a.m. But I must love the people. I must love the peoples. Nika Costa. There's a time for every star. Halo, halo, halo. Diva, yeah. Grand Rising, and Grand Rising. All right, so now we are here on April 6th, 2021. April 6th, 2021. And we're about to go into this thing now, where we're talking about money today. Money, the history of money in North America. Let me see. I'm about to join Clubhouse. Actually, we're on Clubhouse. Let me make sure we do a sound check. Grand rising to everyone as we go into this session. I'm just pinging people on Clubhouse. You all can join us on Clubhouse, and you all will catch us here 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Tuesday mornings, and then you can catch us on Thursdays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the evening. So let's see. History of money is what we're talking about. Princess, are you in the house? Can you hear me? Let me make sure my audio is working properly.
I am in the house. I hear you loud and clear.
All right. Let me see if I can get this thing closer. All right. So now, as we prepare for this session, I want to once again welcome everybody. Thank the spirits for allowing me to be here. And while I'm here, while we're talking about this and we're allowing people to come in, now, are you able to? Can you catch me on Facebook? I just want to know if we're up there. 1 second. As we prepare, let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got. So, want to see if we got people in the room. If people are awakening. Because I had this conversation with a young lady who was in the box last night, speaking about how she was an Iroquois Iroquois Indian is what she said. I don't know if she used the term Indian, but she kept distinguishing herself from the Native Americans versus the original people of the land. And, while that was cool, she was saying some things that let me know that really she's just joined up with some group. This is new to her. And that she really doesn't know history nor really what's going on. And there's some things that I've spoken about in the past that I need to bring back up today so that we know exactly what's going on with respect to the history of money. And I speak about the history because a lot of times we're not clear about the history, and then that puts us into situations with respect to the future and making sure that we don't put ourselves in a negative position. Marquise, I love you too. I love you. Halo. Grand Rising. All right, so let me get on this thing about money. Once again, thank you all for joining us. If you want to set us up, Princess, go ahead and do that. Ebony is in the house. Marquise is in the house. We're going to talk about this money today. What is money? What is it? As I continue to wake up, I'm going to have my scissors, my morning scissors. Water. All right, so Princess, you want to go ahead and set us up?
Okay, well, we are live here at the UNA Law Club on Clubhouse, speaking with Diva Laree on the history of money. Diva Laree from the UNA University. We thank you for rising with us this morning to the tide of this conversation we will be having today. If you will, on Clubhouse, click the bottom plus sign and ping as many friends as you feel will benefit from this degrees of information. And just ping, ping, ping away. Also, if you follow, we follow back. Make sure to click the little greenhouse in the upper left corner, and that will make you a member of the UNA Law Club. Thank you for joining us this morning. It's yours, Diva.
Thank you. All right, so now, Grand Rising, and thank you so much for being here, Princess. Slim's in the house, Ebony's in the house, Marquise in the house. Okay, we got enough people to party. We ready to party. Now, let's get on this thing and what's going on with respect to money in the Americas. So I told you about this woman who hits me in the inbox and she's telling me about how she's Iroquois Confederacy and they're working with the government to do this and that. And listen, when you start telling me about how you're working with the quote unquote government and you're talking about the state and the city, then I know you're really just talking. Right? I really do mean that. I know that you're just talking because those people are not government. They're just private corporations, and there's nothing that they're going to do with respect to helping anybody who's original to the land to gain a foot up, because it is not in their best interest for you to do so. So all of this conversation with them and these entities, you're getting nowhere for the simple fact that you're talking to a dead corporation. And then to say to me, oh, well, they recognized us. Well, a dead fictitious entity that's beneath you recognized you, and you're excited about that. Guess what? You're not getting anywhere, because you're still asking for some type of recognition from an entity that is beneath you. And what I'm just trying to get at is, again, we got to recognize who these people are and what's really going on. Then she starts going on about a gold standard. So let me get into this. The history of money. You know, when you talk about this gold standard, gold and silver, we're going, gold and silver is real money. Y'all better come off of that BS. Because, see, I'm going to say some stuff, and I know it's going to be opposite of what these people have told you. That's because they need you to stay stuck on this stupid, excuse me, because I'm really passionate about this, because we get into this mindset we've been put in about gold and silver. Oh, you got to have gold and silver. That's the only real money. Y'all better come up off of that. You the real money. You the real money. The real money is right here. I've been telling you that. It's in your mind. You're the real money. And so let's go into this understanding of what I'm speaking on. Hey, hello, Clint Casey. Let's go into an understanding of what I'm speaking on. Now, at what point, we're going to go into this, did the gold and silver standard come into play in what was really going on in the Americas? Now, originally, the original people were trading with these foreign countries that were coming in from Europe and wherever else, but mainly Britain and Europe. They were trading with paper currency. It wasn't backed by anything. It was based on their word. Hey, I'm going to write you and I owe you, and this is my word that I'm going to give you this and that and that. It wasn't backed by anything. That's how it originally started. All right. So you got to recognize what's going on, because it was after these people came into the land and they saw all of this gold. The Americans were rich with gold. They were rich with gold, and you'll see a lot of movies that deal with what these people were doing with the gold. But they came into the land, and the original people weren't concerned with no gold. They didn't care about no gold. It was, they were trading based on paper. I said I would work for you for this amount of money. It was written on paper, and that was it. Done deal. IOU. Well, once they got wind of, oh, this is the gold, they wanted the gold. Then it was like, hey, you know what? We don't want your paper no more. You just pay us with gold. This is when that standard came into play, because these greedy people wanted the gold. And as a matter of fact, they were stealing the gold from the land and reselling it to the people. So what happened is, after they started, confiscating all of the gold, they started encouraging people to put it in their banks. When the people started putting the gold into their banks, of course, they started to steal it from the banks at that point. And so now, it came down to the point where, okay, you got your gold in the bank. Then we're trading with notes that are backed by the gold that you have in the bank. This is where the gold and silver standard came from. It came from greed. And so now, once they stole all of the gold from the banks, this is when Nixon comes in, and he's got to take it off of the gold standard. It wasn't Nixon. In 1933, it has to be taken off. The dollar has to be removed from the gold standard, for the simple fact that all of the gold had been stolen from the banks. Y'all got to get this. This whole gold and silver thing is not what you all are making it out to be. And that's why I had to tell this woman, if you do you have gold and do you have silver, then don't be so excited about no dang on a gold and silver backed currency. Or gold and silver is the real money. No, it's not. No, it's not. See, when I get into this, you're going to understand how important it is to know what's going on in this system, because you can create alchemy in this system. You can turn a penny into gold. You can turn anything into gold when you know what's really going on. Hey, Lil Todd, thank you for joining us. KT Slim, thank you for joining us. Clint, did you have something you wanted to add?
No, ma'am. I'm just listening.
Thank you for joining us this morning. All right, Princess, did you have something? Go ahead and reset us. So, because I'm ready to go into deep. What's going on after we deal with the gold standard, or went off the gold standard, and what really happened with this whole gold being stolen from the banks. Princess, go ahead and reset us.
Grand Rise, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning, Clint, Diva, Antoine, Slim, and KT. If you are not already members of the UNA Law Club, which is what we're featuring on this morning, click on that little greenhouse there in the upper corner and join the club so that you can be made abreast of our future events. Today, we're speaking with Diva Laree from UNA University. History of money is the topic. Have your pens, your paper ready to take some great notes, some good information that comes from the sister. And be sure to follow. We will follow back. Also, if you'll hit that plus sign in the bottom right corner and ping as many friends as you can to come on into the room, we greatly appreciate you for your presence. Thank you. If you have anything you'd like to ask or something you'd like to share, be sure to raise your hand. We'll bring you up to the stage. Mute your mic until you're called on, and at that time, go ahead and share what it is. Let us know that you're finished speaking by saying I'm complete or I'm finished, whichever suits you. Thank you again for joining us.
All right, so we're dealing with this House Joint Resolution in 1933, and this is when the gold dollar came off of the gold standard. And it's important that we understand. Now, if y'all have any questions in the clubhouse, go ahead and raise your hand so we can bring you up to the stage. And if anybody in Facebook, you'll have a question, type it in, type it in, type it in. Now, when this whole dollar was taken off of the gold standard, what we got to recognize is that we were going back. It's like we went back full circle to where we came when the original people were trading in the Americas with the British when they first came in. We went back full circle. Now, one of the things that we have been told and made to believe is, oh, we want to be on the gold standard and the gold is on the real money. And listen, to why this is very important, to not be stuck in that mindset. The gold is basically a medium of exchange that those who've been playing this game have come up with. You don't want to be stuck on that standard, especially if you don't have any gold. Don't be excited about that, because that is not where the real money is anyway. Now I'm going to go on something. I need y'all to understand. When I say we're winning full circle, everything goes in circles. Everything goes in circles. Now, when I get into this, I want to make sure I explain this so that you understand. I always speak about the spiritual laws, spirituality, and how important it is to be grounded and have a good knowledge of that. When, originally it was about your word. All right. That's what the Bible speaks about all the time. The word is your bond. In the beginning, there was the word, and with the word, there was God. All right. Listen, all of that is dealing with a spiritual deal. It's all about your word. That's what the IOU was about. When I write down on paper that I owe you this much money, that is my word. And that is a spiritual thing. And that's what we're getting back to when it comes off of this gold standard. So when it went to the gold standard, we're dealing with a physical entity. It was like, oh, well, I want the gold, I want the silver. And that when that happened, what it ended up doing was taking away the spiritual side and focusing on a physical entity. So now we're no longer dealing with the spirit. We're dealing with a physical entity. Now I know some of y'all think, oh, that's tangible. That's real. No, it's not. The real is the word. The real is the word. So when we got to come off this whole thing, this whole thought about, I got to have something physical, and then that means that I own something, and that means that I have more value. That's not the truth. And those who are playing this game, they know that. See, they'll tell you, those who are rich, they tell you, own nothing, control everything. It's about controlling it. And the thing is, when we're trying to have, I want a physical element, we're not recognizing that we're taking away our ability to grow and be in abundance. I'm going to have to explain this because I know I'm losing some people on this one. If anybody has any questions, let me know. Let me know. I know I'm losing some people on this one. And see, listen, I'm laughing because I know that I go into this stuff and it seems too deep to understand, or that it's not as interesting, but I'm giving you the real money right here. See, y'all better pay attention to these free sessions. Y'all pay attention to these free sessions, because this is where I'm dropping the serious information. All right, so let me get into it. Going back to the spiritual side and how the system really works. I always speak about, when we come into trust law, the Declaration, Security Agreement, and UCC. When you know how to work within the system, you can turn a penny into gold. You can turn anything into gold. You learn how to do alchemy within the system. You learn how to do alchemy within the system. All right. Once money, this whole gold standard went away, we went back to the more of the spiritual side. We went back to, and I know y'all not getting this because we're stuck on, oh, well, if I can't feel it in my hand, it's not real. Y'all better understand how real the spiritual side is. All right, let me see if I can explain this and bring this back around. There are 3 types of money. Let me get into this, and y'all follow me. There are 3 types of money, main types that I speak on. One is that money where the Federal Reserve note. We're going to say the Federal Reserve note. Anything physical. There's that money. Then there's the money or currency. I should call it currency. There's the currency whereby you are putting out physical labor. You're putting out energy. There's that is a currency. And then there's your spiritual currency where you put the thought in your mind and you use your mental energy to create for you. That's the most powerful currency there is. That's the most powerful currency. You have been made to think that a Federal Reserve note is the true currency when it's not. The real currency is in your mind. When you can think it up here in your mind, you do less work when you put it in your mind. But because we're so used to, we've become addicted to a Federal Reserve note, we are so focused on that as opposed to dealing with the mental side of gaining those things that we want. All right, let me bring this around now, because I go back to the universal laws. When you get to that spiritual side with the universal laws, then you learn to manifest any and everything you want. A Federal Reserve note does not stop you from getting what you want. Going back to the original people, and if I have any questions, y'all ask me any questions, and the way we originally traded in this land. Going back to the way we originally traded in this land, you got to remember it dealt with IOUs. IOUs. I'm gonna write this on paper, or I'm gonna have whatever this note is, and then my word is my bond. But somebody went away from that and they started saying, no, gold, we want silver. And then that really, what people don't understand is it debased the true currency, which is the spiritual currency. All right, so now let me go into this. Remember, we have been told, we've been trained to think that we're based on hoarding or scarcity, that our society is based on scarcity and hoarding. We've gotten away from the natural laws. That's very important. Remember, I told you the way the universe works is if you plant one seed, the universe, when you water that soil, is going to return you many seeds many times over. That's how the universe works. And we've gotten away from those laws. So now what I'm trying to do is help you to understand we've come full circle back to that. You've got to learn how to use the knowledge of the universe to get a leg up in this society right now. This is great. Don't go back to that, oh, we're supposed to be on gold base. Don't get excited about that. That's BS. Because I'm going to tell you how we learn to do alchemy within this system and turn any and everything into a work of value. Any and everything has value. Because money doesn't truly exist. These Federal Reserve notes, they're not even money. All right. But somebody has learned how to turn these Federal Reserve notes into something valuable. You're going to learn how to do that on your own. All right. So now, do I have any questions? Anybody? Jasper L., thank you for joining us. Does anybody have any questions as I go on? Because I want to see. I'm going to go into a document that one of our viewers sent us. And because it deals with how we do alchemy in this system. All right. First of all, it's about knowing the higher laws, universal law, natural law. Then once you get that, you can get down into what's going on within the system and how to use it to turn pennies into gold. Literally. What, landing notes, extortion? I don't understand that. Trade is barter. Yes, Todd, trade is barter. All right, so now, Princess, do you have any questions? Because I'm ready to go deeper into this, and I'm just trying to see if anybody has any questions for me before I dive. I just want to make sure I go over, the fact that all of this stuff is spiritual. I know y'all want to be, okay, Diva, that's great. We just want to do the paperwork. Listen, I'm trying to show you, when you know the history, then you don't get caught up in this BS. These people are talking about, well, gold is the real money, and you don't get caught up in that. You know better. So when this person comes at me and they're talking about, oh, I'm with the Iroquois Indians or whatever this person said, and then they start talking about gold based and all this, gold and silver, and it's like, do you have any gold? If you don't, then stop the madness. Stop it. So what I'm saying to you is, when we recognize how important it is to get to the spiritual side, then we can start learning how to do alchemy within this system. And you're not going to be worried about a gold or silver, because you're going to be able to create your own whenever you want to. All right, Princess, go ahead and reset and let me know if you have any questions, because I'm gonna get deeper into this. I'm gonna start talking about creating persons within the system. I'm gonna start dealing with what these Declaration UCC Security Agreement are, and how we use them to create alchemy within the system. We're going to talk about some examples that are going on right now that show you that you don't want to have a currency that's backed by anything. We're getting back to the spiritual side of this game, and those who recognize it are the ones who are going to come out on top. Go ahead, Princess, reset for us.
Once again, thank you, Facebook land, Clubhouse land, for joining us this morning, dawn and rising. We are in the UNA Law Club with Diva Laree, speaking on the history of money today. Live sessions are available on Tuesdays between 7 and 9 a.m. and on Thursdays between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We thank you for joining us. If you will, go ahead and click on the little greenhouse in the upper left-hand corner. That will put you in the club, and whenever we have future events, you'll be made aware. Additionally, if you'll hit the plus sign in the bottom and ping as many friends as you can into the room, that would be great as well. Thank you. Oh, if you have a question or a comment, do raise your hand. We'll bring you up to the stage. Diva Laree will call on you when ready, and at that time you can unmute and be respectful. Both we respect each other. We'll unmute the mic and then go ahead and speak. Thank you.
All right, so now thank you all for joining us this morning. Now let me go into this, because I talked about how we're going back to the spiritual side of this whole game, and why that's important. All right, as we go into this game, what we're seeing is that we're coming back. Well, if you're aware of it, we're coming back around to the spiritual side, where the word is what's driving everything. Now, a lot of us are not recognizing what's going on, especially when we deal with the Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? When you recognize what Bitcoin is, this is a currency that is not backed by anything. Yet this currency has found a way to become the most valuable currency on the planet right now. Bitcoin, backed by nothing. So please don't tell me about how the dollar being backed by gold, or anything being backed by anything, is going to get you more value. It doesn't. I'm saying to you, because it's not backed, it's able to soar to great heights. We've gotten to this thought, this mindset, that the physical has more value than the spiritual, and that is incorrect. And once we come out of that, we're going to learn how to use this system that is developed to create alchemy and create whatever it is we want. I go back to this, I always speak on this in the movie, especially when I was dealing with my people who were always talking about how do I pay bills, and how do I use this to do this and pay this off. Listen, the little bald head boy who was when Neo went to meet the Oracle. He had that spoon. I always liken this to the spoon. And he said, what you have to realize is that the spoon doesn't really exist. The spoon doesn't really exist. If you want to bend the spoon, you have to change your mindset. And that's what we're talking about with money. The money doesn't really exist. If you want to be able to deal with it and pay for things and maneuver in the game, you've got to change your mindset and not be chasing after these Federal Reserve notes in the way that we have done. Really, you can get abundance with the Federal Reserve notes, but you don't want to be hooked on it. You want to be able to use it as a tool to get what you're looking to get. So when we learn what the system is, first of all, learn the higher laws, universal laws, natural laws, and then we learn the laws of this system, we start to recognize, oh, wait a minute, I can create value in anything. All right, let's talk about it. So now we're getting ready to get into these lower laws of the system. With the system, and we talk about trust law all the time, and I have a seminar, by the way, y'all can be a part of that seminar. It's starting on the 11th, or actually the 14th for business seminar. If you have a business, we start on the 14th. You want to be a part of that, all right? And so what we have with the seminars is that we talk about trust, declaration, security agreement, UCC, all right? Trust law. When you create those documents and you put those on public record, you have created a person. You've created a person. Remember, a person is a dead fictitious entity. A person is not, you all think it's a human being walking around. Not legally. Legally, a person is a dead fictitious entity. So once you create a person, now you can go and actually create a value on that person. What is a person? A person can be anything. A person can be like a bottle of water. This could be a person, or a person could be a business, a piece of paper. It's a fictitious entity. And so when you create it, you put a value on that entity. Y'all got to understand, all of these dollar bills that are walking around, they have a number associated with them. Every dollar bill has a number associated with them. And each one of those dollar bills is a person. Y'all not getting it? It's a business. Every last one of those bills that you have, it's a business. It's a person. Somebody created a person, and you know what they did with that person? They put a dollar value on that person. They put a value on that person. And you now have the ability to do the same thing when you know how to create in this system. You create your own currency and your own person by which you can trade with it. And you can give that person whatever value that you say you want it to have. So what am I speaking about? Y'all pay attention now. See, I'm giving y'all a free session. I'm showing you how money is created. When you go and you put your declaration, security agreement, UCC down, what you're doing is you're putting a value on an entity. When you put a value on it, nobody can tell you what value it should have. So for example, if I go and create a painting and it's a work of art, and I say, hey, this is my painting. I painted this. It's $500. I created UCC, which is a financing instrument, a universal commercial code document, a financing statement, where I'm putting it on public record and I'm saying, this is my painting and it's worth $500. I've just created a painting for $500. Nobody can say that painting is worth less than what I said it is. So now I can trade that painting for $500 worth of goods or 500 Federal Reserve notes. I hope y'all just got what I just told you, because it's very powerful. This is alchemy. This is alchemy within the system. I just created a currency, and I have put a price on it. This is what's been done over and over again with those things that we call Federal Reserve notes. Thank you, Todd. Where is my love note? Let me see if I have a love note that I can get to real quick, because Todd just Todd just talked about the love note. I'm going to show you a love note so that you can have an understanding of what we're talking about. All right, I will show you a love note and just how we've done such that. What about it? Thank you, UNA. What about the dead fictitious entity? All right, so let me show you this. Each one of these, this is a certificate for the love note. This is the love note here. Let me see. I'll take it out. This is the love note. I'll take this one out of the package so that you can see. My little rig doesn't want to participate with me today. Stand up, rig. My rig doesn't want to participate with me today. All right, so here we go. Let me show you this love note, and then we can deal with what we have done to make it. All right, this is the love note. All right. Now, this is worth 2 ounces of silver. We've created a certificate for it. She has a declaration, security agreement, and UCC. She's a person. This is a person. She's worth 2 ounces of silver. And that's on public record. She's got a barcode. So this is like her birth certificate. This is her birth certificate. This is her image right there. You see her image is on, so you can pull the sleeve off of the document. All right. It's got the county seal there. So she's official. She's official. This is worth silver. This is alchemy. And I'm just showing you that when you learn the game, and so I was talking to this woman, she's telling me about, we're working with the government and whatever. And I'm like, do you all have your own currency? Do you all, have you done certain things? If you haven't, then you're talking about gold and silver standard. You're not really working with the principles of the universe, first of all. All right, you're not really working with the principles of the universe, and then you're not truly understanding who you are. So right now, I'm going to take some questions. Let's see if I have any questions. I know I've spoken, a lot about this, and this is what we actually dive into in the university, where we deal with putting things under trust. We deal with creating your own currency. We deal with, what these documents are and how to stand on them, how to use them, and how to affect them in commerce as we start dealing with each other and coming out of this old system. Princess, do we have any questions or go ahead and reset for us?
Slim, if you have any questions or comment, do raise you again for joining us.
All right, so while I'm trying to get my little rig situated, because she don't want to work with me right now. 1 second. One moment. All right, let's see if we can get that working right. All right, there we go. She's falling all over the place. All right, so now, getting back to this, all right? So one of the things we want to recognize is that a person, again, is not what we think of as a human being. It's an entity. It could be dead and fictitious, or it could be this right here. A person could be your car. You give your car a name. You call your car Betsy Smith, and then you do a declaration security agreement, UCC, put a certificate on her, and Betsy Smith is a person. So you see this. That's the name. Love note, and then her number. So every last one of these has a number on them. Just like your vehicle has a number. They call it the VIN number. Yeah, well, that distinguishes it. Just like each one of these love notes are distinguished. And they have a name. And so what happens is when I put this on record and I make the statement and the claim of what this is, then I've just put a value on this. Now let's understand this. The fact that I put a value on it and it's tied to something, that kind of degrades where it can go. Now, this right now is worth 2 ounces of silver, but it can go as much higher than that. It can go higher than that. But the fact that I based it on something physical limits its ability to be more how do I say it, have a greater value. So when we look at something like a Bitcoin, once again, that has no base, and here this currency is that has no backing or no base, it's the most expensive currency on the planet. That's because it's based off the word, what people say it's worth. And so you've got to recognize as we get into this game that we got to move away from thinking that the physical has the true value. It's not. Bitcoin and all these other currencies are proof positive that it's about the word. It's about the word, not about, oh, well, it's made with gold or it's made with some kind of precious metal. No, that's not the game. Somebody's got you hooked on the wrong thing. Now, let me see. I had Todd. I will talk to you. Okay. Todd wants to purchase the love notes. Hello, Al Tariq. Yes, get these love notes. They're going to be up on the love market, as a matter of fact, where you're going to be able to purchase these. 2 ounces of silver is what they're worth. They come with the certificate. All right, you can, when you have the certificate, you're going to learn how to create bonds off of the certificate. So yeah, this is something very very serious. You learn how to and by the way, what we do, this is what I love. Here we have a barcode for it. When you click on this barcode, all of these love notes, they come with the universal laws, the hierarchy of laws, and the maxims of law, and they are in that barcode right there. You can grab them from that barcode. So yeah, I'm excited about our love notes. So the love notes come with all of that. But this is how you do alchemy. You create alchemy in the system. You don't just be concerned with, oh, it's gold and silver. No, that's not the game. That's not the game. All right, so now, Princess, you had a gentleman. He wanted to go over a particular document.
Yeah, that was Jason. He's not here with us this morning just yet. I don't know if he's en route to work or busy at work.
Yeah, all right. So now, go ahead. All right, so now what Jason sent us is a UCC financing statement. All right. Now, again, I show these when you all come into the seminar because I like to explain these documents thoroughly. What I don't like for people to do is just to run off and, I'm just fill this out this way, fill this out. When you're in the university, I have to go through and make sure you fully understand what each and every last one of these documents mean that you're filling out. And I need you to understand it fully. And it's going to take some time for you to get your mind wrapped around what these documents are. So the UCC is a financing statement, as in to finance something, to put a price on something, to pay for something. Now, this financing statement, what it does is it allows you to put a value on whatever instrument you're putting out. So for example, with the love note, I have a UCC financing statement, and that UCC financing statement, now there's the UCC financing statement that you get from the state. You can pull it offline. It's called the UCC, and UCC once again stands for Uniform Commercial Code, and it's a financing statement. And you can pull this financing statement down, and you can put a value on your person, whatever it is. And so he wanted me to go through and explain this document. Let me see. And how the numbers work and all of that. And again, this is something that I go through in detail with my students in my seminar so that they can fully understand what everything is on here and how it works. If you have not seen a UCC financing statement, this is a part of what we do when we're putting all of our documents under trust. You want to be a part of the seminars, go to divalerie.com. You can get the Back to Basics seminar where we go through that. If you're wanting to be in the upcoming seminar, you go to unauniversity.com/learn, LEARN, learn. All right. So if you want to be a part of that, go through that and, sign up for it so you can be a part of the seminar. Now, do I have any questions? Again, y'all can get the UNA love note off of, thank you, Sunshine Halo. You can get the love note off of UNA Love Markets. All right, coming up. So you'll be able to purchase this. Again, it comes with the certificate. You can join the school so you can learn how to write bonds off of it. You can learn how to, do quite a few things with it. So yeah, that's what we are. We're building on, what money really is. Now let me go back to this to make sure I covered everything, because this is a really, it's a deep subject. This is a deep subject because, again, a lot of people keep talking about gold and silver standard as though those are the real money when they are not. And when you know this system, then you know how to create your own money and put a value on it. All right, this is where we're heading to. And those of us who are understanding this game, understanding that it's spiritual, we're going to be able to make a lot of moves in these times that are coming up. All right, so now, Sam, Clint, Princess, y'all want to add anything here? Did I cover everything? I covered the 3 money types. I want to go a little bit deeper into that. As a matter of fact, let me go into this. I talked about the spiritual money, which is in your mind. Okay, I talked about the physical money, which is these Federal Reserve notes, or currency. I'm gonna change this word to currency because I keep saying money, but really I'm talking about currency. All right, this is the energy, the flow of energy, the currency. So there's the spiritual money that comes from your feminine energy, your thoughts. We just put it out there. There's the money that comes from, or the currency that comes from when you are doing that masculine work. Whether it be you're going out and working for someone, you're sitting down learning something, you're cutting something, building something. That's that masculine energy or currency. The physical currency is whereby you have your Federal Reserve notes, your gold, your whatever, your silver. That the most valuable currency is the spiritual currency, that feminine energy that you use, because as soon as you put it in your mind, that's when you've created, and you do less work with it. The most powerful and the one that you use the least amount of physical energy on to manifest. All right. And so I talk about this because I get a lot of people who they wait till the last minute. Like we're telling them this information about law and how to deal with the system and the agents that come at them in the system, and they don't pay attention. They don't. You got to pay for everything. Anything you get, you're going to pay for. You got to pay for it. So either you're going to pay attention, like you put your energy into knowing and understanding the game, or you're going to pay a whole bunch of Federal Reserve notes at the end of the day because you don't know what's really going on. You know how they say knowledge is power? They say knowledge is power. Okay, knowing this little bit of stuff right here, just knowing this gives you power to do so many more things. Knowing this gives you power to where you don't have to go out and work 40, 50, 70 hours a week just to do what this document can do. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I can make this worth whatever I want it to be. I just chose to make it worth 2 ounces of silver, but I can make it worth whatever I want it to be because I have knowledge. So then, do I have to put out as many physical masculine energy, as much masculine energy as I would just because I have knowledge of this? Y'all going to get it. The knowledge and the spiritual side, that's where the true power is. That's where the true value is, not in the physical. I'm going to give you another example. We have a tendency to think that, that the physical entity is worth more. Like, okay, a house, for example. Y'all want to think that, oh, it's $100,000 house, $200,000 house. Well, the contract that's based off of the house is worth more than the house itself. What am I talking about? When you write a contract for the house, let's say the house costs $200,000. You write a contract for the house. By the time you finish paying for the contract on the house, you will have paid $500,000. All right? You will have paid $500,000. Not to mention the fact that they're going to take that contract and they're going to put it on the stock market. That contract at the end of the term will have made millions of dollars. The contract itself has made $500,000 this off of you. On the stock market is made millions of dollars. But the house still is only worth $200,000. Y'all not getting it? This contract with words. Remember, in the beginning there was the word. This contract with words has more value than the house itself. The contract based off of the house is worth way more than the house itself. This is just words, this paper document. This stack of papers is worth more than the house itself. Y'all ain't getting the game? I'm trying to show you how to do alchemy. If y'all are not recognizing what I'm saying right here, I'm showing you the real power. The word, that's what the true power is. The knowledge. I can take this now. Let me tell y'all something. I have written literally $1 million bonds off of just one of these. I have written $1 million bonds off of just one of these because I have knowledge. I'm trying to show you the real game. And the only way you can really get an understanding is to come out of your thinking that the physical currency is the true value. It's not. The true value is the knowledge and understanding the spiritual side of this game. Do I have any questions? I'm going to let you reset, Princess. Anybody in Facebook, do y'all have any questions? And once again, you're going to be able to purchase these UNA Love Notes on UNA Love Market. And they do come with the certificate. And they come with their own, each one of them has their own ID number. This is the UNA Love Note. All right. Come on, Princess.
Well, once again, thank you for joining us in the UNA Law Club. Speaking on the history of money this morning with Diva Laree from UNA University. If you have not already, click on the greenhouse in the upper left corner and hit the follow button so you become a member of the UNA Law Club and will be made alert of any future events that we have coming up when we post them and as they're posted. We thank you again for joining us. If you have any questions, do raise your hand and we'll bring you up to the stage and allow you to ask that question when Diva calls on you. Thank you again for joining us, taking time out of your morning to receive some good information. Peace.
All right, so now you all are going to be able to catch us on Tuesday mornings from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. And then you can catch us on Thursday evenings from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And like I said, we're just wanting to make sure that you're aware of what's going on with this quote-unquote money system. You got to know the history because I get too many people what I call regurgitating what they hear other people say about, oh, the gold standard and this is what money is and real money is this. The real money is you. You are the true currency. All right. Al Tariq says we're getting a lot of pauses in the video. Okay. Clint, Did you get anything from this info? I know you always have the great questions. Clint Casey.
I'm here. I apologize. I'm heading my way in. I'm just sitting here. I don't have any questions. I'm just sitting here thinking how I'm going to manifest this into other things.
All right, I know when you figure it out, it's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, thank you, Clint. I have settlement funds in the court's registry that the judge doesn't want to transfer into my trust account. It continues to sit in the registry. Okay, so Tyler, one of the things, if it's sitting with a judge, it's got to be sitting with accounting. Start sending them your bills. Just send your bills to them, and they have to pay it. So just start sending your bills to the county, and they're gonna have to start paying paying that off. 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. where I am. Amir, where are you and what you doing up so early? Amir said, "Look, I love the peoples. Like I said, I love the peoples. That's why I get up this early. Because other than that, I'd be in bed rolling over at this time. It's 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. But welcome, Grand Rising. Slim, do you have any questions, any thoughts? Let's see now. Princess, do you have any questions on what we spoke about? And I think I covered. As far as covering that document, that is a UCC financing statement. That is a document that we cover in detail when we're in the university. So you all are welcome. Go to devalerie.com and you can go and join the Back to Basics seminar where we go into that UCC financing statement. And that is where we add value to our currency or whatever it is. It could be your painting, your car, your house, your business, anything. We add value through that, and this is how we create alchemy within the system. All right. Would you say, Princess?
I was speaking, listening in a group yesterday, and I heard a lady was talking about doing a UCC financing statement for a matter of divorcement, where the husband actually had breached the contract and was proposing to her to surrender all to him, and so she needed to answer. And so this was what she was told, to make a UCC financing statement that incorporated all property and children and the marital contract itself, which is a bond.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So what that is when you create that UCC, what you're doing is you're claiming, actually what we do to put everything under trust, we have a declaration where we claim entitlement, claim the title of certain entities. So in this case, it sounds like she needs to claim the children. She needs to claim the marriage. See, y'all got to understand, marriage is just a business to the state. When you go and you get, listen, when you go and y'all sign that marriage certificate, a certificate is just like this. And it becomes a person, a dead entity, or a corporation, just like this. And it has a name. And so when you do that and you register that with the state has a business on you. And again, the same way I created this and I put a value on it, it gets traded on the stock market. No different than the contract for your house. It gets traded on the stock market. And when they're trading that on the stock market, that this contract is worth millions. It's the words on the contract. Millions. Worth more than the marriage itself. Anything you created in a marriage, that contract based on that marriage is worth millions. So at any rate, what you do is he was trying to take everything from her. The only way he can do that using the system is if she has not claimed it and taken it out of the matrix. We talk about this in trust law programs within UNA University. Listen up. Once you put your whatever, your business, your marriage, your children, when you put them under trust, you remove them from the matrix, so now nobody can take them from you. All right. And so that's what was being told to her, to put it under trust. When we're putting things under trust, we do, first of all, the declaration. We have a security agreement, and then the UCC is the financing part, where you put a value on the things that you have claimed. Once you put a value on them, and then there's certain other steps that you go through taking, then you own it, and no one can lien it, take it away from you, tax it, or anything else. And so that's what was being told to her when her husband was coming at her and trying to take everything from her. Did I answer that question, Princess? Princess,
Yes, ma'am.
did I answer that question for you?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
All right. Tyler says, I need to join the university for support and refreshing. I love the parliament. Yes, Tyler, you can join us. Go to, you can also always go to unauniversity.com and check out what we have going on there. You can also go to devalarie.com and you can get into that Back to Basics seminar. We have the seminar going on this coming up next week, actually, the 14th, starting on the 14th. It's a 10-week seminar. You can join it at unauniversity.com/learn, unauniversity.com/learn. You're going to learn how to become an alchemist in the system, all right? How to create instruments and documents and how to use them. And so again, I say to the brother who was saying that there's funds that they're refusing to release. Well, if they won't release your funds, just send them your instruments, send them your bills. Like, okay, here's my bills. Go ahead and pay this, since I know you all have my money. Just pay it. That's how you do it. And so I'm wondering if I have any other questions on that. Y'all asked me that in the Facebook land. Thank y'all for joining us this morning. This is the April 6, 2021. April 6, 2021. Asset protection. That's right. Under trust, this is how you protect your assets. Again, we go deep into detail on these documents that we put into play in the system. And you want to be a part of the university so that we can really, bring this information home to you. Make sure you are clear on it. We don't want a situation where you're just filling out documents and have no clue what you're standing on. Let me say this, because this is another reason why I encourage people to join the university. Because I've had so many situations where, with me, I make sure people come into the university. But I've had so many situations where people will come to me and they'll say, I had this document, but this happened and I didn't know what I had because somebody filled this information out for me. That's what I don't want. I did have a situation with someone who I helped her get her child back. I helped her fill these documents out. She wasn't a part of my university. And so she ended up getting her child back, but she didn't understand the documents that she was sitting on. It came to me in a situation where it was I need help real quick. And that's why I don't do that anymore. So if you are not in the university and you don't understand what the documents are that you're dealing with, then I'm not going to be able to help you. So the way this works is she goes in the court. I set her up with her own court. So she goes in the court and with her own court. So she was protected. She had a layer of protection when she went into court. The problem was that she didn't know what those documents truly were and how to stand on them. So when they came back at her to get her child, of course, these people played a game. They're going to put a fictitious name on the document. They're going to make fictitious claims. And then that's what they did. And they were able to get her child away from her. But she didn't understand that once you put a UCC financing statement on there, nobody can remove that. A UCC is a lien. A UCC is a lien. All right. And once you put that UCC lien on something, it cannot be removed by anybody but you. And what happened was she didn't have this understanding or this knowledge. She also didn't have the knowledge that these people play a game. And when they serve you a warrant, you need to know whether it's a valid warrant or not. First of all, is the name correct on there? Second of all, is there a judge signature on this document? Third of all, is there a county seal on this document? If those things are not on the document, then it's not a valid warrant. So these are things that we come into the university to learn, because if you don't know the game, it's like, people think they're going to just step out of here and play this game and not truly understand what's going on. You think you're going to step on the basketball court with Michael Jordan and then suddenly you're going to win? No, these people know the game and they're going to play it. They're going to play the tricks on you. And if you don't understand that, you're going to get slaughtered. So that's the purpose of coming into the university, because you're not going to listen, understand this again. This is years of information about law that even lawyers don't get. I'm going to say this again, because y'all need to recognize the value of what's going on, even just in these open sessions. This is information, years of information that lawyers don't even get. Lawyers can't even tell you this stuff, even if they knew it. And then even if they knew it, they don't even know how to affect it. Because the system is not geared to help them understand this, because if they knew it, then they would have too much knowledge. You can't hold someone with knowledge as a slave. Well, yeah, a lawyer, yeah, they're slaves. They don't have any true power, because that's why they're under what they call the bar, which is a British accredited registry membership program. It's not you got to have a license. No, it's a membership. So they're being taught on these certain things. And that's why they are kept under, they have this scrutiny where you can say this, you can't say that. Well, yeah, because if they know too much, then you can't hold them as a slave. You can't make them stay under this British accredited registry. All right. So do y'all have any questions? Do I have any questions in the Clubhouse? We're live on Clubhouse. We're live on Facebook. I want to say thank you all for joining us this morning. I just had these situations to come up with, speaking about money, and we had to go into the history. Y'all remember, the original people did not trade with no silver and gold. They traded with a paper currency. And y'all going to start to understand how important these words are. The words is where the power is. The words. So y'all got to start recognizing that. And once you start recognizing that the money is in the word, then you're going to gain a whole bunch of power. You're going to learn how to create. You're going to learn alchemy in the system. So the original people, when they were trading, it was all about, here is an IOU. This is my word of how much I'm going to pay you. And that's what they paid with. It was these other foreigners that came into the land that were saying, hey, we don't want your paper and all that. No, we want the silver. That's where the silver and gold back craziness came from. They needed to steal the silver and gold. All right. So now once they did that, and people were putting their money into their silver and gold, they were putting that into the bank. Well, then that's when it became where we need to start using paper again. But the paper was backed by the gold. All right. So now once they started stealing the gold out of the bank, Then it became, we need to take, this was when that law, the House Joint Resolution came into effect in 1933, where it was the Federal Reserve notes was taking off of the gold standard. And that brought us back full circle. And so now when y'all understand the game, now you can go ahead and start learning what's really going on in the system. And it all deals with trust law. Trust law, which is why you want to be a part of the university, so you can learn how to create persons. How to create persons. How to create value in your persons. How to market your persons. All right? You're going to start playing this game the way the original people played it, but you're going to do a much better job. Because you're going to understand that the money is right here in your mind. All right. Do I have any questions? Princess, I'm going to let you reset in a second. Facts, they don't know how to do the legal respect and writing. Thank you, Clarence. Clarice. Thank you so much. All right, so now thank y'all for joining us. Come on and reset, Princess.
Well, yes, once again, thank you for joining us this grand rising. We are live on Clubhouse in the UNA Law Club and on Facebook at UNA America, discussing the history of money with Diva Laree from UNA University. If you will, or have not done so already, if you'll look at the greenhouse in the upper left-hand corner and click on that little greenhouse, become a member of the UNA Law Club, you will be notified of future events as they arise. And we do appreciate your presence in the room. Additionally, you could hit the ping button and invite as many friends as you can into the room. We appreciate your presence. If you have any questions, respectfully, press the raise hand button. We'll bring you up to the stage, at which time we ask you to mute your mic, allow Diva to call on you when she's ready to speak. Thank you so much for joining us, you guys. It's all yours, Diva.
All right, thank you, Princess. All right, so now I want to thank everybody for coming in today. Thank you all. I really do appreciate the love. Tyler says, I like how you talk on spiritual sovereignty behind the veil. That resonates very well. Thank you, Tyler. You know, I'm just, the thing is, the more and the deeper I get into this game, I see how truly spiritual everything is. Everything comes from the universe. I don't care how evil these people think they are. And again, we're all one. We're all one. But it doesn't matter, you know, how evil we think they are or whatever. Everything comes from the universe, everything. And when you get that, then you know how to overcome anything these people are trying to throw at you, anything. So again, and that includes this currency, because a lot of things are being used to keep us enslaved, if you will. A lot of things are being used, and then the problem is that our mindset is not allowing us to manipulate it the way we need it to be, because we think the physical is real. Again, I go back to that little boy in the Matrix. Well, he had that spoon. He's like, what you got to recognize, what do I have? He said, what you got to recognize is the spoon does not exist. Here you go. I don't want to use those. I've been, you know. But anyway, what you got to recognize is the spoon does not exist. And he said, when you've got to wrap your mind, you've got to change your mind. When you change your mind, that's how you bend the spoon. You don't try to bend the spoon physically. Remember, I told you the power is in the mind. The most power is in the mind. So you sit up here trying to bend the spoon and turn it off. No. You got to realize it doesn't exist. What you want to do is change your mind, and that's what we're talking about with the money. This money doesn't even exist. And so because we're so stuck on, oh, I got to go to work. I go gives me some Federal Reserve notes, and I got to go. You're stuck on that. You're not recognizing the true value of the knowledge. You're not sitting down and learning the knowledge. That's what a true power is. So if I know how to create this, how many houses can I get? When I know how to create a bond off of this certificate. Remember I told y'all about certificates. This is a certificate. A certificate, just like your birth certificate, is not going to have a financial value on it. But I can go off of this physical entity, just like a house. I can create a bond off of this physical entity. The same way they create bonds off of your birth certificate. Your house note is a bond created off of your birth certificate. Y'all got to come to the university if you really want to learn this, because I know some of y'all like, what is she talking about? I don't understand. Join the UNA Law University. Join the UNA Law University and you'll understand what I'm saying. But this certificate doesn't have a value or a number on it. It's got a value, but it doesn't have a number on it. But I can create a bond off of this certificate, and that bond is going to have a number on it. I'm trying to see if I have a bond around here so I can show you real quick. I'm going to show you a bond, and you'll be able to see what I'm saying. So when I create a bond, this is a copy of a bond. Based off of this certificate. Now, again, this doesn't have a number on it. The certificate doesn't. But this bond has the number $100 million on it. $100 million. And it's based off one of these notes. Going to a government. Going to a government. This is alchemy. I'm just trying to show y'all how to play the game. When you join the university, we learn how to do all of these things. We learn to understand what the game is, what's going on in the system, and how to use it to our advantage. All right? Now, let's see. Do I have any questions? Do I have to have...
Sunshine.
Give me 1 second. Say it again. Say that again, Princess.
Oh, I was just saying, Sunshine Love was asking if she has to have a high school diploma to study this.
Sunshine, no. If you can read, you're good. Do I have to have a high school? No. If you can read, you're good. Because, listen, I want you to, you're going to come out better without the high school diploma, because your brain is not going to be stacked with all of the garbage that has been taught to us. All right? I can go through this and teach this to a young person faster than I can to somebody who went through a law school. Because what happens when you go through a law school, y'all not understanding, there's an indoctrination going on. When we go into these universities that these people have, there's an indoctrination where they are putting things in your mind. And it's like people start believing this. Like some of these lawyers, they don't want to know the truth about how a lot of the things that are going on in the system that they don't know. They don't want to know the truth about this. So when I start talking to them about it and it goes against what they have been taught, even though I can show that what they've been taught is wrong or they have not been taught the whole story, they don't want to hear it because they've been indoctrinated. So give me somebody who hasn't been through that. I'm starting with a clean slate. It's good. We can go wherever you want to go. So no, I'm not. And by the way, I'm not. When it comes to a diploma coming from these people's school, I'm not impressed. And one thing is people putting all their they put their numbers or what have you, their letters behind their names and all of that. I'm not impressed. Oh, I've been doing this for 20 years and not impressed. Not impressed. You want to impress me? Show me how you effect these documents. Show me how you've affected these documents. Show me how you've affected the universal laws in your life. Show me that. Show me how you've taken your business and you've made sure that you've been a giver and a cheerful giver to people and built your business, then I'm impressed. Mrs. Abu, start with you what? Let's get started. Go to DivaLarie.com and join that Back to Basics program today. Do it today. Let's get it. Do it today. And then we're going to, we'll get started, because we walk people through this, and I do some private sessions. Mainly what I do is the more public sessions, but yeah, I walk people through this, because that's why when you get into the university, I tell people, especially when by the way, I'm going to do an A for V, what I call A for V, accepted for value, where we show you how to pay your bills with financial instruments, how to create the financial instruments, how you pay your bills with financial instruments. So I walk people through that step by step, and I tell them, you bring your bills to class. We are talking about doing it. I'm not just here to teach you. We're ready to walk through it step by step. You're going to understand everything you're creating, why you're creating it, what its purpose is, and how to stand on it. Clarice, you said credentials, it's still not credit. What do you mean? Help me understand what you're speaking on. What's still not credit? Help me out so I can understand what you're saying. I started learning from the spiritual sovereignty side first. I'm just learning and starting the application in law. Thank you, Tyler, because I think that's where we all need to start from, is the spiritual side. This is why we have the UNA Youth Academy coming up. The UNA Youth Academy, because of the simple fact that, you want to start with the young people. The young people get this stuff, then, we could take it to all kind of other levels. Get the young people in here and make sure that they get it. They're going to take off with it. They're going to do something bigger and better. When you give it to the young people, they're going to do something more creative than what we could have even thought about. So that's why, again, yes, I somebody's credentials and all this stuff about they went to school and this and that, I'm not impressed. Talk to me about what you've done, because when I traveled, especially South America, the people who had the bigger businesses, they dropped out of middle school, elementary school, could barely read. But they were running these big businesses because their mind had not been enclosed in a box. They thought outside the box. They weren't closed in. They weren't indoctrinated. I'm just telling you what I've seen. So if you can do this stuff and went to school, then you got my respect, because to be able to come out of this box is not easy. Once they put your mind in a box, it's very difficult to escape from it. So the credentials received from the university still have people in debt. Yes, thank you, Clarice. Clarice. Yeah, Clarice. I just want to make sure I'm saying it right. Yes. I need my son to know, so yeah, let me join. Go to go to UNAUniversity.com/UNA kids. If you want to register your children, UNAUniversity.com/UNA kids. And you can get, sign up your children for the seminar. That's coming up on the 11th of April. And so, listen, we're just trying to make sure you all have the knowledge. This is a lot of years and years of information to learn, and you're not going to get it in just a couple of quick sessions. It's not going to work like that. This is knowledge. This has to become a part of you. The spiritual side has got to become a part of you. So this is not just about, whenever we're talking about these processes, paying your bills and, getting rid of your car notes, getting rid of your taxes, dealing, all of this stuff where, dealing with courts. This is a spiritual walk. It's not just, I'm going to just sign some papers and the documents and I'll be done with it. No, this is a spiritual walk. So if you're really wanting to be a part of this and know what's going on, this is not going to be a cakewalk. This is us coming back into changing our lives and moving back to the spiritual side. Moving back to the spiritual side. And all of these laws tie in with each other. Don't just think, oh, it's just money over here and then it's church over here. No, they all tied in. They're all tied in. And if you don't know the universal laws, everything under here will not work for you. Nothing under here is going to work for you. All right. Thank you, UNA. Excuse my... Oh, it's all good, Clarice. All right, so now, let me see if I have any other questions. Chris, I see Chris is in the house. If you have any questions, Clint, if you have anything you want to add, I'm going to let Princess reset. Come on.
Okay, well, we are live on Facebook and Clubhouse in the UNA Law Club, speaking on the history of money with Diva Laree from UNA University. Those in the Clubhouse room, if you haven't already done so, click on the little green house in the upper left-hand corner and join our club. That will make you aware of future events as they arise. Thank you for attending today. And if you haven't done so already, in the bottom right-hand corner, click the plus sign and ping, ping, ping away. Also hit follow. We do follow back. And we thank you for joining us. If you do have anything you'd like to share, Chris, raise your hand. We'll bring you up to the stage. And just hit mute on the mic until Diva calls on you. That will afford the proper respect of time to invite you to speak. Thank you again for joining us. Peace.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Once again, remember, you all can catch us. You can catch us on Clubhouse and Facebook on Tuesday mornings, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., and then Thursday evenings, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We're just running that for the time being to see how we work. If y'all enjoy it, y'all let us know. If you want us to keep going on, you all let us know. Thank you all for joining us and waking up with us in the morning. I sure do appreciate it. Now, I want to finish up. I really would love to take some questions this last 30 minutes. So you all ask me questions. Again, we're talking about money and the history of it in the U.S. Basically, we're just dealing with how this gold standard came about. What was the original? We want to know what was the original currency and how things were originally traded in the U.S. Okay, that's very important because, again, when you know the history and you understand the universal laws and how things come full circle, and also you want to be able to recognize how to use things to your advantage. So don't let people keep telling you about this gold and silver standard and you don't have any gold or silver. You want to cut that out. Because you first of all, the money is in your mind, and the more you know and recognize that, the more you can access what you want. Because we've been made to think that we got to get some Federal Reserve notes so I can get this car. I got to go work so I can get this house. Well, the universe has given you a menu. She said, "Here you go. What do you want? Here's the menu." And y'all keep talking about some Federal Reserve notes instead of simply asking for, I want the house. I want the car. I want the business. Some of y'all, I want a job so I can pay for this and that and that. When really what you want is the house and the car without any headaches. You can do that, but y'all are not asking for that. You've been trained to ask for Federal Reserve notes. And so you've been trained to ask for a good job. And so then the universe gives you what you want. Instead of you asking for what you really want, you asking for something beneath that. You asking for, I want to struggle. You keep saying it. When you start saying, no, I want the house and I want a business doing what I enjoy. No, I don't want to wake up early in the morning because, I don't whatever. Ask for what you want. Some of y'all don't even know what you want. That's the problem. Really. I've had people, I was like, okay, if you can have everything you want, what do you want? And they get to stuttering and hesitate. Okay. Ask for what you want. The universe has a menu there. And as soon as you ask for it, that's what you're going to receive. But you better be careful about what you ask for, because you're going to get it. All right, especially in this time. Things are manifesting very quickly now. Things are manifesting very quickly. And so this is a fun time for those of us who know what we want. You got a question, Chris?
Hey, yeah, thank you. Sorry, I had a phone call there. I wasn't able to join. I feel like I've been putting out the wrong energy. Like, I generally know what to do with my marketing stuff, and I generally know like how I can serve and help people. But when it comes to like, I don't know, I feel like it's just like my energy is off, like I'm lazy, or like I'm having trouble like just getting focused and like getting scatterbrain. And then it leads to like more thoughts of like feeling like I don't deserve it, or like, I don't know. I just feel like this, I've been having this like negative self-talk, and I'm having a trouble getting out of there.
Okay, good. Thank you, Chris, for that. Now, okay, let's start with the negative self-talk. One of the things that the exercises that we talk about doing every day when you wake up, you want to make sure that you show gratitude. All right. So we got to treat our spirits and the universe like you would treat a woman or you're someone you love, your lover, because you not in a sexual way, but in a way where you're showing appreciation. You know, like it's because it is a person. It is a not person, but it is a being. It's a true being. And so when your thoughts are negative and you're just, oh, I don't deserve this, and I'm, things are terrible and horrible. When you're putting that, when you're feeding that into your mind, you got to remember every cell in your body is its own universe. It sees, hears, and thinks everything, or it sees, hears, and feels everything that you think. So listen, I'm going to give you an example, because I talk about this all the time. Well, my mother, she might be watching, but like my mother, I talk about this feminine energy, like when you just think about something. When there's a project to be done, like my mother goes, oh, we're gonna do a deck in the backyard, and we're gonna put up some cabinets in the kitchen, and we're gonna put down the floor in the kitchen, and we're gonna put the roof on the house, and she's like, we, all this French, we, but then when it comes time to do the work, she disappears, because her job is just to do the feminine thing and put the seed out. And so when I say that, people keep thinking I'm saying she didn't do no work. No, but she did the most work. The most work was the thought. She put the thought out there. And then all of us as her cells had in the house had to manifest what her thoughts were. So it would be us doing the work after she's put the thought out. That's what we're supposed to be doing, because all she got to do is think it, and it's got to manifest. Every cell in the house, which was me, my stepbrother, my stepdad, or whoever else was in the house, my sister, we got to manifest that. And so what I'm saying to you is the same way it worked with her in this house is the same way it works with your brain and your vessel. So every cell in your body is going to manifest whatever you think. So when you think it and you're thinking negative, and all of your cells are seeing this negative, they're going to manifest whatever's in your thoughts. That's why, see, this is why I tell people, I'm an oracle, because I know. I can see who you are based on what's going on your outside, because all of your cells are going to produce whatever's in your thoughts. And I actually have exercises where we go through it and we can actually see how we can see what you're thinking. So it's no different. If I see you're outside and your clothes are a mess, you're at this terrible job that you hate, you're always complaining, bad things are always happening to you, I see where your mind is. So when we're talking about making sure of whatever it is you're feeding your nation, because your cells within your nation, they're going to manifest everything in your third dimension for you. Your cells are manifesting that. And the only thing they're manifesting is what you tell them in your mind. So when you're waking up, you want to make sure you show gratitude. Be thankful. I'm thankful. I'm grateful for this. Whatever it is that's negative that's going on that you're wanting to complain about, find the good in it and speak on the good, and that's it. Find the good in it and speak on the good, and that's it. And let me say this while I'm at this, when I'm talking about being grateful and gratitude. What you don't want to do, you want to watch your words. And see, it's hard to speak without using the term not. Like not words like, I'm going to give you an example that I use all the time. You know how people will say nonviolence? All right, you got to be careful about that, because nonviolence is not the same as peace. They're not the same. When you're using that word, what happens is your psyche doesn't know none, because we can't live in the not. We can only live in the positive and the future. That's what we live in, the future. See, you can't even live in the present. You got to live in the future. So, and you have to come into my sessions to really get an understanding of that. But what I'm trying to let you know is that when you say nonviolence, only thing your mind sees and hears is violence. It doesn't, your subconscious doesn't know none. Your subconscious just know that word. So whatever word you're constantly speaking, that's what it's going to be triggered by. So when you're saying nonviolence, all your subconscious is hearing is violence, 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 violence. If you want peace and serenity, you need to say peace and serenity. If your confirmation or affirmation has the word not in it, I'm encouraging you to change it and speak what you're wanting. All right, so that's the one thing you want to have. Your affirmations, that's very, as soon as you wake up, Chris, have your affirmations. I am grateful for. At least 5 of them. At least 5. The next thing is your meditation, where you're thinking, you're focused on I don't know who that was, but you're focused on just nothing. You're clearing your mind. Let me tell y'all why that's important. We're coming into a time where your thoughts are manifesting much more rapidly. Much more rapidly. You must know how to control your thoughts. Because if you're thinking negatively and you don't know how to control that, you will manifest it. Remember, every cell in your body sees, feels, and hears what you're thinking. And if your thoughts are negative, they are going to immediately produce what you're thinking. The same way when my mother said, hey, I want this done, this done, this done, everybody in the house had to produce what my mother said. We had to produce it. And if her thoughts were negative, then that's what we're going to produce. In the same way with you, if your thoughts are negative, every cell in your vessel is going to manifest what you're thinking. So you want to learn how to control that. Learn how to at least shut it down or calm it down or go to another place. You got to learn how to do that. So that's the meditation. The third thing is your affirmations, where you're saying I am. And remember, we cannot live in the not. See, I can't even get the word. I keep saying not. We live in the future. How about that? So be careful about using not terms in your affirmations. Anything that's going behind I am, Chris, if you're saying I am, make sure it's positive. Make sure it's strong. Anything going, that term I am, where I am this, very powerful. I've had so many people that will come to me and I'm broke. I'm this. I'm sad. I'm poor. You are speaking this into existence. As soon as you say it, then that's what your subconscious has to create for you. When you say I'm broke, I don't have this, your subconscious is creating that for you. So this is why we want to make sure we change our language, change our thoughts, In your confirmations, put I am. If you want peace, I am peace. I am love. I am paradise. That's what I say, because I'm paradise. This paradise. And so those are the things you want to put into your affirmations to make sure that you're talking the right words to your nation within. The other thing is your journaling, whether you write it or you speak it, things that happen the day before, or your whatever you're wanting to happen. Your journaling is a good thing to do every day. And the other thing is exercise. Get you some exercise, Chris. That's going to help. When they say exercise the demons, those are demons in your mind. What they're trying to tell you, you're not good enough. That's the devil on your shoulder telling you you're not good enough. You got to exercise them out of your vessel. And they are spirits, by the way. They are, like, spirits are very real, and they come in the form of bacteria. That's what we don't know. We haven't been taught. They make it think, oh, it's some spirits in the sky. No, they're bacteria. And they are very real, and they get into your system. And then how do they get into your system? The foods you eat, the things you drink. If you're drinking alcohol, why they call it mineral spirits? Why they call alcohol mineral spirits? Because they're full of spirits. And I go into that when I talk about the mitochondria and how they're created, how these spirits are created. Yeah, they're spirits. They'll get into your vessel and take over your whole brain. Well, you think just because it's microscopic, it doesn't have power. No, it's very intelligent. They're very powerful. And they will get into your system, and then they will talk. They talk in the form of gases. And those gases go to your brain, and your brain understands them clearly. You don't know what you're thinking. So when you're hungry for Burger King or McDonald's or whatever, we think, oh, that's just a craving. No, that's your spirits or your bacteria within you. They're talking, and they're like, yeah, that's what we want. And they're telling that to your brain. And so you're going to do what they tell you to do. When you learn how to control them, that's when you get more control of the spiritual side. Did I answer your question, Chris?
Yes, absolutely, and more, as always. Thank you so much, Diva.
Thank you, Chris.
I am going to do this. I am lazy. Yes. I am not lazy. I am effective.
There you go, effective. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you joining us today. Does anybody let me see if anybody in the Facebook land has any questions. Say that, Diva. So saying what we're not going do is still breathing life into it. Clarice, absolutely. If you speak about what you're not going to do, you're breathing life. There's this story that I hear all the time. It's about the wolf, the little boy and the wolf, and he's talking about there's these two wolves, and he asked his elder, which one is going to win or something to that. To make a long story short, he was asking his elder which one is going to win. Well, the one that you feed is going to win. The one that you keep feeding, that's the one that's going to win. And so now this takes me back. I got to talk about this because I did this exercise with rice and water, where I put rice in 3 different glasses. One said love, one said hate, and one said indifferent. All right. Love, hate, indifferent. Now, the one that says love, I spoke to it, I talked to it, I showed a lot of love, said nice things to it. The one that said hate, I said some real mean, nasty things to it. And then the one that said indifferent, I said nothing. I didn't give it any kind of energy, nothing. And at the end of 2 weeks, what we could see is that the one that said love and hate, now, by the way, all of them smelled horrible by the end of 2 weeks. But the one that said love and hate, they turned, they didn't even turn colors. They just stayed a white and they kind of darkened. But the one that said indifferent, that I gave no energy to, it started to mold. It turned a real dark yellow. It went bad. It went bad. Now, there's something very powerful about that, because because I didn't give it energy, it died. Y'all feeling me? I need y'all to get this, because when you give things your energy, you allow it to continue. When you want it to die, stop giving it your energy. You ever had somebody give you the silent treatment? They stop giving you energy. It kind of hurts. Yeah. That silent treatment, or you stop giving something energy and it has to die. It dies. And it's the same thing when y'all keep giving energy to these society, these things going. When you give it energy, it's got to live. When you're talking about the quote unquote government, I don't even like to talk about them, because they don't get my energy. You don't get my votes. You don't get my conversation. I'm not watching it in the news. I'm not talking about it with nobody, because I'm not giving you energy. You've got to go away. I know y'all think, oh, that's crazy. Okay, watch. In Diva's dimension, I don't give that energy. So when we're talking about, where you're putting your energies, see, that was a simple example with the rice water. I show all these examples all the time so that we can see how our energies affect everything around us. Just your energy affects everything around you. We got this rice water where I simply gave this one love, gave this one hate, and this one I didn't give anything, and it molded and went bad. And again, if you give even when you're giving something hate, you're still giving it an energy. You're feeding it. When you're giving it love, you're giving it an energy, of course. Now, based on what kind of energy you give these things, that's going to be what returns to you. But there's going to be a return. But if you give it no energy, like I did the one that said indifferent, that thing is going to die off and go away. So the things that I don't want in my life, I don't give them energy at all. I don't talk about them. I don't speak about them. They become dead to me. And this includes anytime you got somebody who's in your space and, they said whatever they had to say, and it gets back to you, you don't get any energy. Where I've had people try to challenge me, and if you're not challenging me on something that becomes a teachable subject, you don't get my energy. I'm not giving it to you. I don't care what you say. So that's, again, it's very important about where you're putting your energies, because if you're wanting something to go away, and this is why I talk about these quote unquote governments, I'm not going to keep fighting with them, because again, when you fight with them, you're giving them energy. You're paying them taxes, you're giving them energy. You're voting, you're giving them energy. When you're talking about them in the news and talking about them with your friends and putting them on your Facebook and sharing stuff in the inbox, you're giving them energy. If you want them to go away, don't give them any energy. Not positive nor negative. Not positive nor negative. When you stop talking about them, they got to go away. And this is why they need you to keep talking about them. This is why they need you to look at them in the media. I need to speak on this, because this is another thing the sister said when she was writing me in the inbox. She's like, the media won't help us do such and such when we're dealing with the government. Why would the media help you? Why would you think the media would help you when they're owned by the same people who are stealing the land? Y'all not understanding that these quote unquote governments, they're not governments. So you talking about you expecting the media to tell your story. The media is not trying to tell your story. They're the ones who's stealing your land. When we, again, learn to what the real game is and create our own system. We created this one. It was taken over. We need to create another one and make sure we don't let it get out of control. Once we do that, they have to go away. That's the game. Y'all keep trying to fight them, and we're going to work with them, and we're going to fight them. We're going to ask for their help. We're going to look for them to validate. How does something beneath you validate you as a God? How does that happen? It doesn't happen. you're still not getting the game. So once we get this game and we start understanding that we don't need a validation, we don't need to keep feeding them energy, we don't need to keep fighting them, create our own system, and they have to go away. That's how the game works. All right. Do I have any questions? Anybody? America's? Let's see. Divine. Hello, Divine. Thank you for joining us. Divine says, I'm feeling you. Thank you, Divine. I'm just checking to see if I have any, we have any questions. I'm ready to get out of here. Y'all, Neen says, tell them, girl. Yes, you can't have something lower than you validate you. Thank you. Thank you, Neen. So when another thing, the sister who was telling me in the inbox, who's claimed to be an Iroquois Confederacy, Iroquois Indian rather, or native. I don't know what she called herself, but anyway, she said she's with the Iroquois. But she kept talking about how they recognize somebody, she said the state recognized. Okay, so something beneath you recognized you, and you think that validates you. That doesn't happen. That's not how that works. And so one of the things is, if you're again, if you keep trying to get your validation through them. I remember when I first got in this game, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get out of here. When I first got in this game, I was really wanting to know how to get my own IDs, and then I had people. I talked to these Moors, and they tell me, well, you gotta register with the United States in order to. And I was like, but that don't make any sense. How are you telling me I got to register my corporation or my nation with a fictitious corporation when my main point is that I am a sovereign nation? But you want me to go and register it with a fictitious corporation? You're not making any sense. And that's when I really dove into doing a lot of work in studying and understanding this game, such that I can stand as a true sovereign nation. Understanding what a nation is. People telling me, oh, you got to have this many people to have a nation. No, you don't. You're a nation all by yourself. You are made up of many different spiritual entities. As soon as you put that document on public record and you're stating who you are, you become a sovereign nation. But you have to know how to stand as one. So, again, when we're trying to get validation through entities that are beneath us, we're not getting the true understanding of who we are. You're not standing as who you are. Just like with her nation, if I have to tell people, if you're an incorporated nation, you're not sovereign. What you are is you are under the dead fictitious United States corporation. You're not sovereign. If you S Corp, LCC, all this, that's not sovereign. You're under another nation. You're under a dead fictitious entity. So people need to understand what this game is and how to play it so they know how to walk. And at the same time, at some point, you got to stop giving energy to the things that you don't want to exist. Because the more energy you give them, whether it be positive or negative, you're keeping them alive. Hello, Divine. I said that too. I want to get in. I'm on fixed. Okay. We'll talk, Divine. Let's see. Who else? Thank you, Jante. What's going on, sis? Jante's in the house. Great speaker. So now, all right. Now, does anybody have any questions? Adriel, Clint, because we're about to get out of here. Chris, you have anything?
Clarice is asking if there's any changes happening behind the scenes that would directly affect what is being learned or taught through UNA University.
Anything happening behind the scenes? I mean, there's always things happening behind the scenes, but The deal is that this stuff is so old. I mean, when I say that, this is what I'm saying. Everything goes in a circle. I don't care what these entities try to do. As long as you understand the main premise of what's going on, you're going to be on top of the game, because everything it goes in a circle. What do I mean? Just like I told you from the beginning, we started where the original people were writing. Really, they traded. They say, "Hey, I'm gonna do this for you," and it was the word. Okay, if I say I'm gonna do this for you, you say okay, and then we agree. That's a contract. Then it went to, okay, let's write it down on paper. I'm writing it down. I said I owe you this, blah blah blah. All right, that's a contract. All right, then it came into these people trying to steal the gold and the silver from the land. All right, and so we're coming back full circle when it had to be taken. The gold, the payment or the currency had to be taken off the dollar standard. Well, the gold standard rather, and we're getting back around to this now, to where, okay, it went back to the IOU. That's where we are. That's what a dollar is. Now, a lot of people are not recognizing, the whole game about how when it went off the dollar standard, the gold standard rather, when the dollar went off the gold standard, that was a big break. It was like, good. Well, now we can take it to whatever level we want to take it to. When we're talking about Bitcoin, a digital currency, is taking it back to the spiritual side. I know y'all like spiritual. Okay, listen up. In the beginning, there was the word. What is digital but ones and zeros? Ones and zeros, they're just words. Those are words, like, yeah, words. And these digital currency is based off of our what we feel is something is worth. And once that door opened, which is it, Bitcoin kicked the door wide open. Once that door opened, that opened the door for us to once again create our own currency worldwide. So when I say it's old, I'm just telling you it's going in a circle. When you recognize the circle and the system, then you're going to know how to stay on top of everything. Because I don't care what these people do. When you understand the universal laws and that everything comes from the universe, and it's already been done, and man is just recycling and redoing something Mother Nature did long time ago, many times over, better than he could have ever thought of doing it. When you understand that game, then everything else is going to fall in order for you. It's going to become simple and natural and easy. So as far as joining UNA University, we're going to teach you the basics. And as long as you got the basics, you're going to be able to win. That's like basketball. With basketball, they tell you, we just want to do fundamental basketball. Don't be doing all those tricks. Now, when you come in, once you get the fundamentals down, you're going to be doing some serious tricks. All right? You're going to be doing some serious tricks once you get the fundamentals down. Well, when you have the fundamentals, it's documentation, paperwork. You're gonna see it. It's all the same. Like people come to me with court that I need to have a written mandamus and this and that and that. It's like it's just a contract. It's just a contract that says what you need it to say. That's all it is. Once you get that and you understand the whole premise from the top, everything under here is just child's play, because it's the same thing over and over again. You just need to know how to recognize it. All right? Yeah, nothing new under the sun. Thank you. Keisha Johnson, Howard, hope she comes in. But thank you all for so much. Divine, Shantae. Who else in here? Clarice, Alicia, thank you for joining us. Anybody have any questions? Chris, thank you so much. Clint, Casey, Adriel.
I wanted to address something.
Okay, come on, Clint.
The question I was asked, is there anything, I'm not sure exactly how she worded it, but is there anything in the system changing that would affect UNA? Yes. UNA is changing the system that question is still asking for validation. And I think the more we go in this, we've got to start realizing there's only one law, and it's mine. It's yours. It's what you say. And we have to start enforcing that road rather than, well, I wonder if we do this, are they going to accept it? It still goes through my head. Well, what if this don't? It doesn't matter. I am law. Period. End of story. What I put down, what I say, where my foot lands, where my eyes go, I am law.
Thank you, Clint.
So,
Thank you for that, Clint. Because, and he's right. Because remember, we talk about the hierarchy of laws. And if you don't have those, go download them from unarepublic.com/docs, DOCS, unarepublic.com/docs. Now, why is this important? Because of the simple fact that, again, when you write a document, you create a document, you are creating laws. This is a law right here. This certificate, this is a law. When you create your declaration, that's a law. And your laws stand above these dead fictitious corporations. So when you put those on public record and you make it known what your law is, then that has to be respected around this planet, especially from these corporations that we have put into, we have allowed to operate. We own all of them. We own all of them. All of them. You are part owner in all of these corporations, whether it be McDonald's or Walmart's or any of the other ones. You are owner in that. And so what we've got to recognize is that when we create our documents, we're creating laws. And that is what goes. So, yeah, thank you for that, Clint, for expounding on that comment. Jante, I love you too, sis. Thank you so much for joining us. Everybody, thank you all. We are at 9:05. Princess, I want to say thank you so much for doing a great job as always. Chris, thank you for being here. Clint, thank you for the love, for being here and showing up. Adrielle, I hope you got something from this. You all can watch this again. This is on Facebook, UNA America. Facebook under UNA America. You all can always come back and watch this. You can catch us on Tuesdays at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. and on Thursdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. The question was asked because a UNA student referenced an actual changing in New York. I didn't see it as being relevant, which is why I asked Clint. I concur. Today put a lot of things in perspective for me. Thanks, Diva. Al Tariq, thank you, brother. Is the Kids Academy online? Yes, the Kids Academy. If you don't want your children in that, go to UNAUniversity.com, UNAUniversity.com/UNA Kids. UNAUniversity.com/UNA Kids. All right. All right, so y'all go and check that out. We got the 2 seminars coming up next week. Those are going to be big for us. We want to thank you all. Thank you, UNA for that, for posting that. So, yeah, UNA University is, we're doing a lot. We got the seminars coming up. Also, don't forget you're going to be able to purchase the UNA Love Notes. Yeah. All right, along with the certificate. You're going to be able to purchase that on the actual Love Market, UNA Love Market. All right, so we got a lot of stuff going on. We want y'all to stay tuned. We thank everybody for your support and your love. We got big things coming up. Shantae, we're going to see you soon. Thank y'all. I'm out. Diva, anybody? Princess, you good? Chris, thank you. Thank you, Chris.
We're good. Thank you, Diva.
All right. Bye, Clint. Bye, Adriel. Thank you all. Join us next time. We'll be here Thursday, 7 p.m. Love you. I'm out. Bye-bye.